I like the move, Skip. I thought this was the move that they were going to go in. Justin Fields, Skip, I believe he can be a very good quarterback in the league. It's hard to evaluate him properly given the lack of skill position, mainly the receiving core around him. They make the trade with the Carolina Panthers, and they get DJ Moore. Skip, DJ Moore has 5,200 receiving yards. Do you realize that had he been on the Bears roster, that's the all-time leading receiver in Bears history? Given the Bears have been in existence for almost 100 years, Skip, 5,200 receiving yards would be their all-time leading receiver.
Yep.
I like the fact that they got him. Claypool needs to show now, Skip. It's a time out for this potential and all this and all that. It's time for him to rise and shine now.
Yep.
Give Justin Fields another viable option. I love the DJ Moore, Skip. You can get two number ones. You get 2 1s, 2 2s, and I think a fifth in this out of this. So you get an opportunity to build around Justin Fields. You still have some money in free agency. Who knows? You might go get another receiver. I would look to build offensive line-wise, Skip. You can go in the draft, get an offensive lineman if that's what you choose to do with the 9th pick in the draft. So there's a lot of ways you can build this team, but now you get to build it around Justin Fields. Skip, I like the move. I thought this was the area that they were going to go. I know there's some things that he said that leads you like, well, damn, bro, you in Chicago. They're not putting a dome in Chicago. I understand it's cold, but you're going to have to learn how to throw in the elements because that's one of the advantages that the Bears have is the elements. So for me, Skip, I like the move. He said this is a part of the process. Ryan Poles says this is a part of the process of putting a team around Fields that can help him. And they started with a solid number one. I believe DJ Moore is a number 1 receiver. You get the 9th pick in the draft, Skip. So it's not like you went from 1 all the way to the 20s or to the teens. You're still in the top 10. So who knows? There's somebody that you might got to have. You can parlay some of the assets that you've received from Carolina and move up and get, if there's said player that you really, really love and you feel that he can help your team immediately. But I like the pick, Skip. You see what Seattle did. I still believe Carolina gonna be bad next year. Guess what? They're going to get another top 10 pick, possibly top 5. So I like the move for the Chicago Bears because I believe Justin Fields is the right guy for them. They put pieces around him, and let's see what he can do. Because we see what young quarterbacks, Skip, when you put pieces around them. Hey, Joe Burrow, he has Jamar Chase. And we saw what Stephon Diggs did for Josh Allen. We see what these young quarterbacks, when you give them proven wide receivers, we see the maturation and they take off. I believe that same thing can happen for Justin Fields.
Okay, I will give you this much. I love the haul that the Bears received for that number 1 overall pick. I hate the fact that they left somebody on the table they should not have left on the table. I hate that fact. But I'm going to address the haul first.
Okay.
I love DJ Moore. You can look it up or you can check the tape from this show. Before the 2018 draft, I campaigned for my Dallas Cowboys to take DJ Moore. He went 24th. They picked 19th. So he was on the board, and they took somebody named Leighton Vander Esch, about whom I knew very little because I had not focused on him at Boise. But the point was he turned out to be pretty good. A little injury prone, but pretty good. Is he better than DJ Moore? I don't think so. But at least Jerry did something that he rarely ever does. At midseason, he said, I'm going to spend a number 1 pick to go get somebody named Amari Cooper that I did know all about because he'd played at Alabama. And he'd struggled under John Gruden, who never bought into him, didn't think his motor ran hot enough for John Gruden's taste. And all of a sudden, my Cowboys, with the addition of Amari Cooper, took off at midseason. Did he turn out to be exactly what Gruden thought he was? Over time, he did. And they finally had to, after they overpaid him $20 million a year, they had to get out from under him by saying, Cleveland, would you please just take him off our hand and maybe give us a 5th round back for him? Okay, DJ Moore can play. He will definitely help Justin Fields. I'm just not convinced and will never be convinced that Justin Fields will be better long-term than Bryce Young. I am sold on Bryce Young. I thought you were. I think you still are.
I am.
Okay. He is a better thrower of the football than Justin will ever be. Justin is very good. This other kid from Alabama can be exceptional at this next level. I love his guts. I love his moxie. I love his charisma level with the football in his hands. I love his poise. I love his clutch guts. I don't know how many times he came up big with big throws for Alabama. Yeah. I don't care he's 5'10" and an eighth. I don't care he weighs 204 or 194 with a lot of water weight on him for 204. I don't care about that. He can play the position at an extremely high level, as we especially saw in his Heisman year of 2 years ago. It's now or never. It's a very difficult thing to do because you have the quarterback in place and you say, if we just get the pieces around him, maybe this will do it. DJ Moore definitely will help. But I still look at the numbers from last year. They still have the #1 overall pick, and they had Justin Fields, and he came within 64 yards of setting the all-time rushing record for a quarterback in a single season. He got banged up at the end of the year, and he's probably going to get banged up fairly regularly because he does run, and he runs full bore. He is an explosive downfield runner, not so much a make you miss. He runs strong. I keep comparing him. He's almost like an Eric Dickerson at quarterback. He's a long strider. I did not see that at Ohio State. No. But he's a 60% completion passer.
That's not nearly good enough.
It's just not good enough. He got sacked 55 times, which led the league. That's partly the line's fault, and some of it's his fault because you tend to start bolting because you feel like I can do that, and it works. I can get a big 20, 30-yard chunk. He got some runs against the Cowboys at Dallas where I was like, whew, that's extraordinary. But will it win you football games? Not enough. No. You know and I know. In the end, it's all about the quarterback throwing from the pocket. If he can escape, that's just icing on his cake. But the cake has to be throwing the football accurately downfield. It's just the way the game, it's almost like rigged for that to be the way you win Super Bowls.
But Skip, how many times do we come in here on a Sunday and we watch how many the passes that his receivers dropped or didn't get open, and we say that we give him some weapons, Skip, let's see what the kid can do. And I think that's what Ryan Poles decided. He said, you know what? I like what I have. Yeah, sure. But what good is taking Bryce Young, Skip, if we don't have weapons, if we don't upgrade our offensive line? We're going to be in the same position with a much smaller man than we are with Justin Fields.
Okay, I hear all that. And I got nothing against Justin Fields. And this always puts me in a position of, you hate No, I don't hate Justin Fields. I think he's really good. The other kid's just going to be better. He's extraordinary. I haven't seen anything like him for a while. Joe Burrow is up there, but he has Joe Burrow potential to me. He's not as big as Joe Burrow. He's not as tall. I got that. I don't care that much. Can he take the pounding at this level? I think he can because he looks like he's put together in a wiry way where he'll be okay. He plays bigger than Kyler Murray plays to me.
I think the thing is, Skip, if you keep letting Joe Burrow getting 50 and 60 sacks, he ain't going to take it either. No, ain't nobody taking that kind of punishment. That's why you try to upgrade your offensive line so he doesn't have to take that kind of punishment. But I think, Skip, at the end of the day, you look at what they got in return. Now, see, where I thought you was going, Skip, you like Bryce Young. I thought you said, well, why don't you just give up those 2 first-round picks and go up the road and get Lamar Jackson? I thought that's where you was headed because I know how much you like Lamar, and you thought that would have been a better – do you think that would have been a better situation for Carolina? Because you keep the 2 seconds, you keep DJ Moore, and you keep your 4th or 5th round pick that you also gave up.
The Lamar thing is so complicated right now because the first thing that has to happen is
the contract.
You have to sign the tender. No, I mean he has to sign the tag tender because right now he's untradeable. Right.
But I'm thinking the thing is, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that the Ravens says, okay, you can talk to Carolina. Carolina says, Ozzie, DeCosta, we'd like to try to work out something with Lamar. And if we can come to an agreement, would Lamar Jackson be willing to go to Carolina? Would it be 2 first-rounders? Because now you keep your 2 seconds, you keep DJ Moore, and you keep your 4th.
Yeah, right now the teams are backing off. There was an ESPN report about this because they're just saying, hey, we know we have to give 2 right now, 2 first rounds, but maybe we could make a deal for 1 first and a third or something. And then we'll give him the big money because it's clear that the Ravens, to me, that they would not mind getting out from under Lamar. They just shamed him to me. They disrespected him. They said, we'll even put the non-exclusive on you so we don't have to pay you $45 million for exclusive. It's only $32 million. But first he has to sign the dotted line.
No, he's not signing. He's not signing.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. If I sign this contract for everything that the Ravens have and I don't show up for it, they take money from me.
They do.
So I'm not signing that contract until the 18th hour, if there's such a thing as an 18th hour, because I know I don't know, but I have a very sneaky suspicion he's very upset with this tag, and you had 2.5 years to get something done, and we haven't gotten it done yet.
I'm sure he's furious over this. I'm sure he's hurt over this because he's hurt over the fact that he went through the whole year last year and nothing happened.
Correct.
I still think it's a problem. He doesn't have an agent. This is where the agent could be back channeling to say, wait a second, I got a deal. I got a deal here.
Yeah, teams are less likely to don't want to talk to mom as opposed to an agent that can be wrangling. Okay, I'm on the phone with Carolina. I'm on the phone with this one. I'm on the phone with that one.
Yeah.
Because agents have avenues that they can travel down that someone that's never been in this position don't know how to navigate.
It's safer, too, because tampering is still in force here.
Exactly. The tampering period hadn't started yet. Skip, it's kind of like in Hollywood. It's like, okay, I'm going to represent myself as opposed to having an agent. Well, the agent knows all the directors and the big studios and the directors and the producers and how to get you something that you can't do for yourself.
No. And so if the Bears directly contact or the Ravens contact or whatever, it can be, look what happened to Miami. They lost their first-round pick this year because of tampering over Brady and Sean Payton.
Correct.
All right, back to the comments. And you were very hard on Justin Fields when he made these comments. And I was just sort of horrified for him because this is your livelihood. This is your home. This is your new home base. You got to protect your own soil here because I worked there for 3 years covering this team for the Chicago Tribune, and it was all about bear weather to me because back to the 1985 Bears, the reason they dominated in the playoffs in large part was because of bear weather.
Yeah.
And remember the punt for the Giants where he just whiffed it because the wind was so strong. So he said, did Justin Fields the other day to Barstool Sports on Pardon My Take, he said, it's just very difficult to adjust to, especially the wind. It can be so cold, it can be 10 degrees, but with no wind, you're fine. But 15 to 20 mile per hour wind, you can't fight it. It's tough. And he went on to say, I feel way slower in the cold weather.
Hell, everybody does.
Hey, come on now. This is your home. This is who you are. This is who you got to, this is your advantage.
Yes.
And his final sentiment was, I hope we just get a dome. I don't care if we're at Soldier Field, Arlington Heights. I just hope we get a dome. It's not what I want to hear from my franchise quarterback. It's not end of the world. It's not a deal breaker, but it was the last straw for me to say, Bryce Young, Justin Fields, I'll go Bryce Young. Now, again, maybe Bryce Young would get there and say, I hate it here. Right? He's a California kid.
Well, maybe he was thinking like you were thinking. If I say this, maybe they really be part ways with me and trade me, and that I can go somewhere where the climate is a little better and the talent level around me is a little better. But ain't no dome coming. The closer you're gonna get to a dome, Chicago is close to South Bend, isn't it? Well, he better go down to Notre Dame because that's the only dome he gonna see.
The Golden Dome.
Exactly.
And it's not exactly a dome stadium that we're talking about.
But you're right. The advantage that the Bears and Lambeau and Green Bay, that's the advantage that you have is that you bring teams that might not necessarily, you get a Miami or you get a Tampa or you get one of these warm weather teams and you get them in there in late December. You get them in January and you take advantage because you're used to this type of weather. But I ain't trading him. I don't care what you said. I ain't trading him.
Okay. This brings us to Carolina.
Okay.
And I have no idea if they're going to see their way fit to see through the clouds that tend to hover over everybody's psyche right now at this time of year and pick the right quarterback. I don't know that they're going to take Bryce Young #1 overall.
They might take C.J. Stroud.
They just might. They have made all year. They made noise about they liked Will Levis. Well, we've had a big sea change. We have a new GM. We have a new head coach. I have no idea what direction they're going to go. They might like Anthony Richardson for all I know after he won the combine. My point is, Will Levis, I'm out on. But watch them take Will Levis. It wouldn't shock me because their history would tell you that they have clown show sort of components. It goes all the way to the top. It goes to the owner, and he's still there. He's the one constant.
Right.
If they take Will Levis, that's a swing and a miss. If they take CJ, I'll be okay with it because he can throw the football. Bryce is just a little better than CJ.
Right. Yes. I agree with you, Skip. But the thing is, like, and people are like, well, I just didn't see enough from Anthony Richardson. Skip, the measurables, I don't care about the broad jump. I don't care about the 40 because the quarterback is really not going to use those. And some of the greatest quarterbacks didn't run 4.4, didn't run 4.5, didn't run 4.6. They might have. I mean, Peyton Manning might have ran what 4.8.
I doubt it.
Okay.
No, I don't know if he could have
ran.
I'm not sure he could have broken 5.
Right.
Seriously.
And Dan, I'm not so sure Dan Marino. But if you go back, Skip, I don't think anybody's asking guys that have won Super Bowls, go back and look at Combine. Well, how far did you long jump? How far? Can you throw the football? Can you throw the guy open? That's all I need to know. And I didn't see enough from Anthony Richardson in his 2 years and Will Levis in his 2 years. You're reaching. If you go back and look at Patrick Mahomes could flat out throw the football. Now, you might say, well, the level of competition, there was a big, ain't nobody play defense, and the air raid and fun and gun throwing it all over. But he could just flat out throw the football. There was no question or not. The question was, will throwing the football as well as he threw it in college, would that be able to translate into the NFL when guys aren't wide open like they were in college? Well, I think he's answered that question. But, Skip, when you start reaching for quarterbacks at number 1, you see what they got in Chicago? They reached for Trubisky. Now, what did your eyes tell you? Deshaun Watson was better than Mitchell Trubisky. I don't care what tape you watch, he was better. And since you reached for Trubisky, not only did you get fired, you set your franchise back.
You did. I got it. Will Levis. Just go put the tape in against my Vanderbilt Commodores. My team beat their team at Lexington. Go watch it because I watched it carefully. He's not the answer. He's not the number 1 overall pick. He's a little shaky in the pocket. His poise is questionable at best. Mm-hmm. His accuracy comes and goes. He's the classic, I got a cannon.
Right.
But does the cannon always fire accurately? Because it's all that matters. Did Tom Brady have a cannon? No, he didn't have a cannon. He had a nice arm, but he didn't have a cannon.
Right.
Did Peyton have a cannon? No, not really. Okay, Dan Marino did have a cannon, and that worked.
Right.
Okay.
Montana didn't have one either.
Didn't have a cannon. Okay. It's accuracy. It's poise.
That's it.
It's your command of the position. Can you read it quickly and find the open guy and throw him open if he's not open? Yes. It's your ability to see it and feel it before it happens. Okay, I didn't see it in Will Levis. I haven't seen I watched my Vanderbilt Commodores beat Florida at Nashville.
Right.
And Anthony Richardson made some big-time throws in that game, and he missed a lot of where you just said, what? Where was that? He was a 54% completion thrower last year. Well, it's just not good enough. And I get it. He is a spectacular specimen at 6'4", 244. I mean, we've never seen anything quite like it's a little beyond Cam.
Right.
Cam could play. I watched Cam. I didn't watch, but he went to Blinn Junior College because he had a problem at Florida.
Right.
And he goes down there and wins the national championship. And then he goes to Auburn, and in 1 year, he won the national championship.
And look at the talent. Cam ain't have not one offensive guy that's playing in the NFL.
Nope.
And he took that team on his shoulders. If you give Cam Newton the talent that Anthony Richardson had.
Lord have mercy. Oh, listen. And again, Cam started at Florida, and he just had a problem, or he probably would have, who knows, I think Tebow was there. So it would have been probably an issue, but whatever.
But he keeps saying, well, I'm Cam, what did he say, he's Cam Jackson or what?
Yes, Cam Jackson.
And people will start, but brother, can y'all let him be? Let him be. Stop. Cam is an MVP. Lamar Jackson was an MVP. Cam took a team to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has taken a team to the playoffs several times.
Yep.
Y'all wouldn't even let the guy blossom or grow. He's already this and compared him to that. And then when he doesn't succeed, I told you he was going to be a bust. Well, you compared him to MVPs from the jump.
That is right. Bottom line, final takeaway. I did cover the Bears in Chicago. I have a whole lot of friends in Chicago. They bleed Bears. That's what because in the end, believe it or not, that is a Bears town. I don't care what you say. It's about the Bears in the end, and it's been since 1985. And I feel for them, and I hope I'm wrong about this for their sake because they did get a great haul.
They did.
And if they cash the haul, you have to cash it. You have to hit on your picks that you got. But we know DJ Moore is a done deal because we know what he will bring to the table, and he's right in the middle of his prime.
Right.
Now, will he like the cold weather? He probably won't love it. He won't feel as fast in the cold.
Right.
But he will help Justin Fields.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
I mean, if he put up the Skip, if DJ put up the numbers he's putting up with some of the guys that were throwing him the ball, I think he'll be okay with Justin Fields.
Okay, good. All right, so that's all plus, plus, plus.
Right.
The team has to get better next year with that draft.
Yes.
It just does.
Yes.
Because I don't think you can mess this one up. You just got too many good picks.
Right.
So the Bears are going to be better. They got the first overall pick for a reason because they were terrible, right? Okay, they're going to get better. And I hope, you know, Justin Fields will get better. I first guessed this. This isn't a second guess. It was a first guess. I just said Bryce Young is that guy.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Lovey hurt his current team, but helped his former team.
He helped his former team. He did, hugely.
Because I'm not so sure that, do you believe Carolina is willing to trade that haul for the number 2 pick? Because that's what the Bears would have been selecting. They wouldn't have had the number 1 overall pick. They'd had the number 2 pick.
Yeah. Carolina keeps saying, we don't know which direction we're going to go with the 1 pick because we haven't had time to evaluate all the quarterbacks. If you're going to trade your life for it, your near future,
that's over.
Hey, you have to know who you're going to take with the 1 pick. So it's clear to me they wanted their pick of the, so to speak, litter. They got somebody that they have said, we want him.
Yes.
And by the way, Mel Kiper's number 1 guy is still Will Levis. So whatever. I
don't see it, but hey.
Okay, here we go.
DJ Moore, gentlemen, over 5,200 yards in his 5-year career. And what I love is he's only missed 2 games in that 5-year span.
Yes.
Talk about consistency and availability. All right, lots of moves in the NFL, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.